Look at for the message here this morning. I have this up here, and I'm just going to kind of briefly explain some different things as we get into. This is like a long extended announcement. It's a pre-message extended announcement, but it is a message maybe in and of itself. It says there in Mark 16:15, if you can read this through all of that, it says, "And he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." And oftentimes when we think of verses like this, and also Matthew 28, we think of foreign land, we think of other places, but the imperative there, actually in Matthew 28, the other passage that's like a parallel passage to this, deals with, very simply, wherever you are, be preaching the gospel. It's not just about, and I want us all to understand, it's not just about sending missionaries somewhere else, it's about wherever we are. As Acts 1:8 reminds us, we have a Jerusalem that we're supposed to be witnessing in, our Judea, our Samaria, and then the uttermost parts of the earth. And we have a responsibility in those different venues. And your own Jerusalem is your neighborhood, the community in which you live, the individual places that perhaps you frequent as well. That's your Jerusalem. And every single one of us needs to be active in reaching our Jerusalem and challenging them and looking for opportunities and saying, Lord, please use me to preach the gospel to these around me. And everybody needs to be doing that on a regular basis, and we all need to be doing that probably a lot more. But this isn't a specific opportunity that I'm actually putting forward before you, because oftentimes when we think about going and preaching the gospel or doing these different things, we think of, okay, maybe going door to door or doing these different things, and that's not wrong, maybe in and of itself. But what if, just work with me here for a moment before I show you the next slide, what if there was an opportunity where instead of you going out to talk to people, people come to talk to you? What if there was an opportunity like that? You think we should take advantage of an opportunity like that? Again, it's a wonderful opportunity. How long does it take to be able to go out and contact a bunch of other people? And isn't it a whole lot simpler if they come and talk to you? If we have an opportunity like that, it behooves us to take advantage of it. So I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to give you a little testimony, and we'll look at some thoughts here just briefly here. So here's a video.
Halloween. It may be a lot of things you like or don't like, but it is the last American tradition where it's okay for complete strangers to come to your house. We pray about opportunities to love our neighbors, but are we missing one that's right under our nose? What if we, the church, saw the incredible potential in Halloween to build relationships with our neighborhoods? Let's think about it. We're spread out all over town. We interact with all sorts of people. And we can all do something simple this year to bring the love of Jesus to others. Let's do more than carve pumpkins. Let's join together as a church to intentionally use Halloween to reach our neighbors and love our community.
Personal testimony here as we go into some other things here as well before I get into some of that. Personal testimony. Katie and I, every year, we have a little subdivision, and there's a lot of people that go around our subdivision. Usually what we do, now for better or for worse, some of you are like, I can't believe you do that, or whatever, but we typically shut off the lights, because in our neighborhood, if you shut off your lights, they won't bother your house, and we just kind of like have a night to ourselves. Now, we need more nights to ourselves, but maybe that's one to have or not to have. But that's typically kind of how we have done things for ourselves personally. We never grew up doing anything with Halloween personally. That's a whole discussion we could have. But this is an opportunity. I think look at it as an opportunity. And not everybody maybe sees it as the same opportunity. I understand that. But it can be an opportunity to intentionally use time when people are coming to you to be able to minister to them. And here's some specific things I'm just going to put out here. This is back on the bulletin board, but I also have some of them up here. It says up here, I don't know if you can read that back there or not, probably not too many can read that. As Christians, our goal is not to imbibe all that Halloween means and what it has to offer. However, we should think of it as a useful opportunity to spread the gospel to our neighborhoods and to show people the love of Christ. Here are some ideas that can help you be more effective in your neighborhood this year. Include kid-friendly tracts or church outreach cards with candy. and I would encourage you, if you're going to do that, to do a good amount of candy. Don't like skimp on the candy, because that's not a good testimony. Okay, it's not cool to go to a restaurant and leave no tip but a track and say, well, I tipped God, I tithe to church. Okay, so that's not a good thing. Those kind of things just really do not set a good tone. That's one of those. This is another one. So don't be stingy on candy if you're going to give out different things like this, because you're identifying with someone. And as Matthew 5:16 reminds us, let them see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. If you're going to make that direct connection, make sure you do it right. And then another way to do it is to set up maybe a portable bonfire in your driveway, or invite kids to roast a hot dog or maybe some s'mores. Maybe give out hot apple cider, hot chocolate, or cookies. Invite other people, church people, maybe to join with you in your neighborhood outreach. Perhaps those who do not live in areas that do trick-or-treating. Okay, maybe you're out in the boondocks somewhere and nobody ever comes to your house. And so because of that, maybe you can join up with somebody else who is in the middle of a bunch of places. And there's another option here we'll get to in a second. Maybe you can dress up as a Bible character to promote conversation. You know, everybody's got all these costumes on and all these different things. Well, if you put a costume on, maybe promote some opportunities to be able to talk to people about the Lord Jesus Christ. If you would prefer not to be involved with trick-or-treating, maybe invite a family member or family over, or maybe a neighbor over or something for dinner instead, and maybe make it a specific time to outreach. Perhaps it is you participate in a church trunk or treat outreach. Okay, so here's another opportunity here, and I'm just going to put this up here. Guidelines for trunk or treat. I'm going to show you pictures, because I don't know how many of you like pictures. I'm going to show you pictures in a second. Guidelines for trunk and treat. Wear a friendly costume. Please leave the scary ones at home. Park your vehicle in Grace Bible Church parking lot space with the trunk facing out. Decorate your trunk with a biblical theme. Look online or see Katie for ideas. Katie has all sorts of ideas for this. We actually have a lot of things, even in the balcony, that you can use. And so it may be that it costs you literally nothing just showing up. So we can talk to her about that. The good ideas will go first, so you can talk to her quickly. Set up folding chairs next to your trunk. Place your treats, candy, or small toys in your trunk and hand them out to the kids as they visit. Smile and engage visitors in friendly conversation. What we would need to make a Christian trunk or treat possible at Grace Bible Church: 8 to 10 families to decorate their cars, volunteers to help with hot chocolate and hot dog stands, volunteers to assemble and pass out church information packets. Okay, so just some different thoughts here. I'm actually going to, while I show the rest of the pictures, I'm going to pass this around for those that would be interested. It says on here, trunk or treat outreach, interest sign up. Please sign your name below if you're interested in decorating your car or trunk for trunk or treat. Sunday, October 28th, which is the Sunday before Halloween. We could do that out here at church. And really, it would take about 8 to 10 cars to make it possible. And so if we don't get 8 to 10 cars, we just won't do it. I mean, it's just kind of how it goes. We can't make something happen, but there's a number of people that have, even as I've talked about this, already expressed interest in that. We don't need to know the theme necessarily until next Sunday. You can think about it and add more later, and I'm going to go through some things here. So I'm just going to pass this around this side. If you guys want to just pass that back there. If you have an interest in that, you can sign up and then just keep passing that. That would be helpful. Here's some ideas. Maybe some of you are like, oh, well, I'm not very creative. That's me. I'm not always super creative, but Katie is really creative, and so she found some of these things for us. How about a Daniel and the Lions Den? Whoop. What did I do there? I think can you go back to that? Yeah, sorry. And there you go. Thank you. Right, appreciate it. Push the wrong button here. I was trying to get this one. Daniel and the Lions Den. So you can have somebody just sitting there. This one here, it says, then he said to them, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. I was thinking maybe the fishers could take that one and put their name in there. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying, it seemed to me like that was like a direct connection, but I'm not throwing that out there. In any case, taste and see the word is good. You know, different foods and other things like that. She dressed up along those lines. Store up your treasures in heaven. We have a treasure box upstairs, as Katie had mentioned, from Vacation Bible School. There's all sorts of different things there. So again, a theme, and you can be passing out candy with all these different things. Okay, so this is not like a theme only. You know, if you pass out candy, that'd be good too. Ezekiel's bones, dry bones. Hear the word of the Lord. You know, So being able to kind of use that as well. This one, maybe is another one, having a manger scene of sorts. It may take a whole family. That's more like Eric and Crystal and the whole family. You could have Scarlett in there. I could just see all this taking place. But and then you have the Bread of Life. You have some different things over here. Again, just some different opportunities. Or if you wanted to go, and this is some other opportunities and ideas. We have an incredible God, dressing up like Incredibles. Okay, if you don't want to do Superman. Sin is our kryptonite. The power of Jesus, overcome sin, and a verse, about that, and so, just different. These are just ideas. I'm not saying we have to do all of these. This is just giving ideas. Some people lack some of that thought process. Here's Moses floating on the Nile there. Here's a couple ones having to do with Noah and the ark. Those are kind of cute. Little beanie babies. Those beanie babies that never really amount to a lot. You can still have them somewhere. You got a bunch of them. You can do a beanie baby little thing with this or whatever. Other ideas. Heavenly fruit salad. Dressing up with along these lines. So these different opportunities. Fully rely on God as a frog. Okay, so frog fully rely on God. Also the Garden of Eden over there. It's hard to see that one, but there's some different thoughts there. There's Jonah in the belly of the whale. Really simple one there, etc. Again, Moses, another Moses theme there. Here's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. There's something there. Here's a Jonah, like a whole opening of Jonah. I don't know, you go through, maybe get a piece of candy in there, come out or something. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not saying it has to happen. I'm just saying, here's some ideas, as well. Just requires a tarp and other things there. Again, another Noah's Ark. Seems to be a popular one. Another one having to do with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego as well. And then here's another one. Jesus is the sweetest name I know. Just using the candy theme and maybe a song and being able to talk to some people about that and just being able to make those correlations between different things. And so that would be if we get enough people to participate and to volunteer for different things. We could do that on Sunday the 28th here out in the parking lot. And so an opportunity there. And so really it will depend upon participation because we can't do that by ourselves. It does require a few more people. And so you can look at those different opportunities there. We can keep that passing, just around as you go. If you could just keep that passing even through the message, just keep that going if you would. And so that'll be a good opportunity there. All right, we can turn your Bibles to